Again, like the outlawing of the tarot, it's down to mind control and suppression of the empowerment of the individual. Try this and see what happens in your life. Be patient and disciplined and incorporate self-control, and do not expose yourself to temptation where you may wish to indulge in masturbation for a period of 3 months. It may seem difficult at first to those with a perceived high sex drive, but it is a futile waste of your sexual energy if you are only driving yourself to the same ends and outcome. This 3-month experiment will clearly show you that the experience in your life over the 3 months will deliver to you a higher experience of love, not only for yourself but for another, should you choose to value yourself and abstain. Again, there are a few videos on YouTube which explain in more detail the value in doing this. You will be pleasantly surprised at just how self-empowering it is. This can be in the arena of sexual power gained to set yourself free from the shackles of codependency or addiction to sex, or the feelings associated with the release of the orgasm, whether you are male or female, and simply replace it with the feeling I mentioned earlier in the book of aligning your chakras and achieving the opening of the crown. The sensation is not only better for the self spiritually, but can also be enjoyed and sustained for a much longer enjoyable period of time. Again, as you master your spiritual awareness through this practice, when you do indulge in a sexual experience with another person, the heights of passion and exchange of energies are far more intense and rewarding or satisfying because of the abstinence and build-up of the spiritual desire together with the sexual experience felt by both parties. Flyer. Here I wish to move to my theory of where children come from. I believe that children of which have escaped the karmatic return to the earth to live a full life of lessons and paying back karmic debts get the choice to be born again and experience the life of a human on the planet yet again. I also believe that these children sign a contract with God, the Creator, to experience all things in life, good or bad, as per agreement. I want you to do this right now. Below your nose, on your top lip, look for what looks like an indentation. This is where it is believed that Archangel Gabriel placed his finger before your birth to keep the secret of heaven and your previous life experiences therein, so that you could not speak of heaven or previous incarnations. Again, later in the book, I will put all this together from the karmic return to the contractual return. Something else I wish to cover based from my experience in life, chasing money or financial security to the point where God, the Creator, taught me a lesson and showed me that He had my back. I lost everything, all of my financial security. Sure, I got angry at the humans and institutions involved in pulling the rug from under my feet. My lesson was simply to surrender. So I did. I pondered the thought of having nothing, no home, no money, and nothing of material value. I remembered the story I once heard that if God the Creator provides food and shelter and abundance to a blackbird, and this is all because he loves them, by comparison, what is the love he feels for us? Within a week, I was living a life I could only have dreamt about, and all because I accepted that God the Creator did indeed love me like the blackbird, and like the blackbird, all of my needs were met. And for that I am always in a constant state of gratitude, because I was shown the other side of life, if only for a short while, but long enough to awaken my spirit. From that humbling experience, I no longer take anything or anyone in life for granted, and as mentioned previously, I check myself and will continue to do so until I have mastered the art of being totally non-judgmental and loving unconditionally. I understand this will not happen overnight, and my awakening, I feel an urgency to share with the world for the betterment of mankind. To briefly get back here to the spiritual and zodiac signs, well, the elements of water, earth, air and fire, just like all these elements are present on the planet. The signs mentioned earlier in the book are governed by them. I will explain. The water signs, as previously mentioned, are shown as the cups in the tarot and deal with love or love, and that emotion is associated with the element of water. The earth signs deal with finances and material goods, hence representation of the coins or pentacles. The earth signs are associated with the swords and represent the mind's thoughts and intellect. And finally, the fire signs, represented by the wands or rods, represent passion and movement. All of these differing suits are what is known as the minor arcana in the tarot, and the further 22 cards are the journey started by the 0 card of the Fool, completing his or her journey at the World card, the last card in what is known as the Major Arcana. There are 78 cards in a tarot deck in total, and there are many different types of decks available. In the next part of the book, I wish to write about protection and good luck in order to help you remain protected from negative energies and psychic attack while ascending and living your best life on your spiritual path. You may well be asking, why should I do this again? The answer is simple. It is that on this earthly plane there are a lot of low vibrational energies. I will give you a moment to call one person to mind. That person you thought of, for whatever reason, has demonstrated to you in the past that they are indeed low vibrational by an act or a deed that you have had instant recall to. Learn to trust your inner feelings and intuition as you progress along your path. It will only get sharper and more trustworthy. A favourite of my own is Tiger's Eye. It deflects evil eye and renders those that wish to harm you powerless. I have found this to be very good and has worked for me on numerous occasions. I would ask here that you look into it further by watching a YouTube video on the properties of tiger's eye. Once you do this, and if so inclined, you can build up your own collection of semi-precious stones and gems, of which I have many, each with their own individual properties. Another favourite gemstone which I wear as a pinky ring is my emerald, but please be warned here. Abundance comes very quickly when wearing this emerald. You may well be thinking, is that a bad thing? Well, it can be when you do not give the rest of your life and surrounding family and friends the time to catch up with your abundant developments in your life. My advice here is wear emerald sparingly, as strange as it may seem. Get a piece of emerald jewellery and you will see exactly what I am writing about. To refer briefly back to the tarot, for those of you unfamiliar with the tarot, there is a card named the Magician. I have also experienced this status. When I first started my spiritual journey many years ago, it was to become a better person. And then in turn it led to helping other people, which again in turn led to me healing other people. The manifestation and abundance were inadvertent but most welcome inclusions on my path, but at the end of the day I am aware of one particular teaching of Buddha: to never get too dependent on anything. I incorporate this in all of my life, from the bare necessities to the luxuries in life. I am not of the belief in lack mentality, nor do I buy into scarcity. I am well travelled and have seen enough of the world to know that through united governmental approaches to a fairer distribution of earthly resources, then there is more than enough for all. In the case where a culture is suffering at the hands of Western society, but know none of the teachings in modern Western society, it's up to all of us to help. Where that is not the case, then it is only a case of perception of mind by those that have abundance already. To get back here to the subject of you being a healer and developing this ability within you to help heal family and friends, even pets. Also, as I mentioned, your enemies. Do this the next time you are in your bed and about to fall asleep. Like I mentioned earlier in the book about the sensation you will feel once you have achieved the successful opening and alignment of the chakras, about the tingling at the top of your head, or what is known as the crown chakra, I want you to call upon Archangel Michael and simply in your mind ask him to let you feel his love and be with you. This is what will happen next, should you be open and receptive. In your heart chakra, or the centre of your chest, you will feel a warm glow. Do not be afraid, just give thanks that he is letting you feel his love and spending time with you.